Inflation, its effects on distribution and non-economic effects. Let us understand the effects of inflation on distribution as well as its non-economic effects. Effects of inflation on distribution. Inflation adversely affects the wealth and income distribution in an economy. It throws the economic burden on the shoulders of the poor. Inflation is always unjust because the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. There are two main groups of people in any economy. First, flexible income group. For example, businessmen, merchants and traders, to name a few. They are wealth and income gainers during inflation. And second, fixed income group. For example, workers, teachers and salaried employees. They are wealth and income losers during inflation. Let us take a quick look at the effects of inflation on various groups of society. Debtors and creditors. Let us understand two very common terms in accountancy, namely debtor and creditor, with an example. A lends money to B, then A is a creditor and B is a debtor. During inflation, debtors are the gainers while creditors are the losers. The reason being, the debtors repay less purchasing power to the creditors than what they had borrowed. The creditors receive less in real terms, hence they are the losers during inflation. Wages and salary earners. Wages and salaries do not rise in the same proportion in which the cost of living rises. This results in utilization of savings and reduction in wealth of salary as well as wage earners. If backed by strong unions, a laborer may not suffer much. Vis-a-vis, when backed by weak trade unions, laborers suffer much. Fixed income groups. This group represents people who live on past savings, interest, rent and pension. Money income of people from fixed income group remain fixed while there is a rapid growth in cost of consumption goods. Thus, fixed income groups suffer the most during inflation. Entrepreneurs. Manufacturers need men, machines, material and money for production. Prices of these factors of production do not increase as rapidly as the prices of the final products. Therefore, entrepreneurs, manufacturers, traders, merchants or businessmen are the gainers in inflation. Investors. Equity shares give flexible income. At the same time, they are risky in nature. Bonds and debentures give fixed income on which the demand has no impact. Therefore, these are risk-free investments. The rich class investors prefer risky and flexible income investments, hence they are gainers. The poor class investors prefer risk-free and fixed income investments, hence they are losers. Farmers. Farmers frequently need agricultural loans to smoothly conduct agricultural activities. So, they take loan and become debtors. Hence, farmers are gainers as they are debtors. they repay lesser purchasing power to their creditors. This could be the only gain for small farmers who do not have enough marketable surplus to sell. But big farmers are real gainers as they enjoy both lesser purchasing power repayment and profits from sale of marketable surplus. Now let us discuss the non-economic effects of inflation. According to Professor C.N. Vakil, inflation is invisible and dangerous for the development of economy. It has far-reaching social and political consequences. Socially unjust. Production is diverted from essential goods to luxury goods in inflation. Hence, inflation redistributes the income and wealth in favor of the rich. Class conflict. Inflation makes a poor man poorer and a rich man more rich. The economic gap thus widens between these two social classes. It leads to a class conflict in society. Decrease morality. Excess demand and increasing prices encourage the people to hoard the goods and to supply low-quality goods. People start neglecting moral values like consumer satisfaction and value for money. They also forget the ethics to be followed. Revolution towards wrong direction. People can make use of economical instability for their own benefits. Hitler's rise to power in Germany is best example of the direct outcome of the post-World War I inflation of 1920s. To summarize, inflation generates adverse effects on the distribution of income and wealth in the economy. The flexible income groups such as businessmen, merchants and traders are the gainers in the period of inflation. The fixed income groups such as workers, salaried employees, teachers, pensioners are in general the worst losers during inflation. Inflation is always unjust. It throws the economic burden on the shoulders of the poor.